Hey, what's going on YouTube? Alabama Reloader here. So coming to you today, and I wanted to show off the ultimate elk rifle. You heard it here. This is it. Go out and get one. You can thank me later. There's no other rifle you'll ever need to go chasing big critters. This is it. This is the one to end all be all. I say that slightly with tongue in cheek, but this is a really, really good option. If you're wanting to go out west, go hunt somewhere where you gotta climb a little bit, you gotta walk a little bit, you gotta trek a little bit, you gotta go off back yonder some ways, right? You gotta go off a fur piece. This would be a good rifle to do it with. So what do we have in front of us? This is a Kimber Model 84M Hunter, chambered in the greatest cartridge ever developed, released, whatever, 6.5 Creedmoor. Now, this, what I believe, is an amazing rifle to go chase big critters with in hard to get to places. Notice I didn't say this is the best cartridge, because that's not the case. That's not the point of the video. The point of the video is the rifle system itself. So everyone whose head exploded when I said 6.5 Creedmoor, you know, you might want to take a deep breath and collect your thoughts before you leave a comment below. I do welcome all comments and feedback below. So please go ahead, pause the video if you want to, and drop a comment below on your thoughts about the validity of 6.5 Creedmoor for elk. That's not the cartridge I would use to go chase elk. I'm talking simply about the rifle platform itself and why I think it's a really good option. So, for starters, this thing weighs 5 pounds, 9 ounces, okay? Just the rifle itself, no bipod, no scope rings or scope or anything like that. Straight from Kimber as it sits. This is a 5 pound, 9 ounce rifle. Yes, there are nowadays a lot of other options that are actually lighter weight than this particular version. So you can go get a Howa super light, you know, whatever they call that thing, the super ultra quantum mechanics, physics, this, that, and the other super light whiz bang high speed thing. That's like 2 pounds or whatever. Really, it's like 4 pounds something. Factory rifle, you can go buy that. That's probably a great option too. But I think, so we're reaching the point, I feel like this whole lightweight hunting rifle craze is kind of reaching an inflection point where, you know, you can only go so light, right? And once you reach that point, depending on the cartridge that you choose, you introduce shootability into the equation. And you can go get a super ultra light rifle and you can go get it in a cartridge that's appropriate enough to go hunt elk, and you can take it to the range and you can just absolutely suck at shooting with that particular setup because it's such a lightweight, heavy recoiling system. So with this one, I don't really know if I'd go much above, I don't know, if I wanted to go get a Kimber 84M Hunter to chase elk with, I might just get it in 30-06 and call it a day and just be done, right? Something like that. And just, or 308, right? Maybe 308. They get the job done too. But it really comes down to identifying the potential system that you want to use, the platform that you want to kind of build off of, and is it going to get the job done, right? Is it going to be good enough to get the job done? And this is a system that I think is capable, depending on the cartridge you choose, where you're not going so lightweight that now you do introduce more of a shootability concern into it. Now, this is definitely a lightweight setup, so anything much above, like I said, maybe a 308, 270 Winchester, you're definitely starting to get punched a little bit while shooting this system. But I think this is kind of a good platform to sort of build around. Now, 5 pounds, 9 ounces, that's what Kimber said. Now in this particular model and setup, 6.5 Creedmoor, like I said already, it's 22-inch barrel. You know, You gain a little more velocity going with the 24, but as a hand loader, you know, we can kind of stomp on it a little bit and sort of make up for that somewhat. But you have to do it safely. I have to throw that caveat out there. And then one of the things that is really nice about this particular system, this rifle, is it has a control round feed. Now go look up and research control round feed versus push feed, and then you guys can come up with your own idea on which version works best for you, or which version you think is best, or which version you want to comment the most on and die on that hill, whether you're in the camp of control round feed versus push feed. I couldn't care less. I just know this one has a push feed action, a control round feed action, that some people tend to prefer in situations where the feeding of the cartridge and extraction is extremely critical. And I would think going on an elk hunt, that's probably a time where it's pretty critical to make sure the rifle feeds and functions flawlessly, right? Not only does it feed correctly, but it also extracts correctly. So that's kind of critical, especially for follow-up shots, right? You'll see a lot of people, that's kind of the norm, I would say, especially if you're hunting with a guide, is you get a shot off, you better be reloading as quick as possible to get a potentially follow-up shot on that animal, right? The more you can dump into that animal, the better off you are. So control round feed, I think, is a plus in that situation. Now, another thing that's, you know, a benefit that, you know, possibly is overlooked, maybe you're not somebody that actually pays attention to the safety of the firearm itself, but this has a 3-position safety. Kimber put a 3-position safety on this, and it's actually a pretty nice feature. You know, I never really considered the features of a safety to be that critical. You know, whenever I'm looking at a firearm or evaluating something that I might want to buy, that's not really something that jumps to the top of my list on, you know, stuff I care about, right? But kind of going over this, so the reason I'm even going down this path is I would like to go elk hunting in the future. Not the near future, but kind of the distant handful of years off future. And so I started thinking about that process now, and what rifle would I take when that time comes. I'm not going to take this one because it's chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor. I'm just saying the platform itself is what I believe would be a really, really good platform to utilize, albeit in a different cartridge, but it's neither here nor there. So control round feed action, which is really nice. 3-position safety. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means, so first of all, it is unloaded for all the safety rangers out there. So it is unloaded. When the safety's in the most forward position, you can shoot it. That's nice. Okay, so we're loaded again. Safety's all the way in the back. Can't work the bolt. Can't fire the gun. Which again, nice feature to have. Because say you want to be, you know, Mr. Ghillie Suit Man, low crawling everywhere, running through brush, doing whatever, and your bolt gets snagged on something, right? If you don't have this thing in a safe position where the bolt can't open, who knows? You know, crazy things happen. And bolt comes open and you discharge the round unknowingly, and then there's the animal you want to kill, and all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, I gotta rack another round. Yeah, just expect the worst, right? Just know that that could happen. That's the possibility. Now, when you come to the middle position, what's nice about the middle position is your bolt works, okay? Your bolt works, the gun does not fire. So the nice feature about that is that you can unload, say you fed around and all of a sudden you're done hunting for the day. Instead of the gun still being capable of firing that round, you can set your safety position to the middle position. Take your mag out, right? So you remove the rounds that are in the rifle itself, and then boom, you unload the gun. Now everything's safe, right? it's a safer way to unload your firearm. So there you go. One of the things, you know, I kind of go back and forth on this. The detachable mag, I'm not necessarily sold on just for the, in terms of like the pure worst case scenario. If you kind of, just like what I was mentioning, you know, worst case scenario, this thing comes flying open, all of a sudden you know, you're ejecting the round that you thought you had chambered. Something similar could happen to a detachable mag, even though this is up into the rifle and it sits flush, and you really have to get in there and depress this to get it to pop out. Again, stranger things have happened. So that's about the only downside to this particular rifle system. Outside of that, I think this is about as close to perfect as you can get. Stainless setup on it. So, you know, kind of corrosion resistant and all that, which is nice, hunting in elements and everything. Now, of course, if you're out and just pouring down rain, you obviously want to come back, tear your system apart and wipe everything down. So, you know, it's just good practice. But lightweight setup overall, I think this is a really good package that would get the job done. And what's also nice about this is you can find these used for right around $700 to $800. Okay, I think when I picked mine up way back when, I believe it was $750 new. Since that time, I think they've only gotten a little bit more expensive. So you can find them used. Definitely check places like Cabela's used website, Cabela's and Bass Pro. They have a used gun section. You can check there. I typically see these posted, you know, like I said, anywhere from $700 to, you know, $650 up to $800, which is a really good deal. Again, lightweight hunting package that'll get the job done. Now in the 6.5 Creedmoor, this is like the ultimate deer setup in my opinion. Anything smaller than elk. But for me, to top this one off, I've got some Tally lightweight rings. I've already went ahead and lapped those, and I've got a Leupold VX3 HD 2.5 to 8 by 36 millimeter scope sitting on top. So again, ultimate elk gun, right? Ultimate elk rifle. It is before you now. So take it in, soak it in, be in awe of what you're seeing. And that's it. That's where we're gonna leave it. So this video really was just kind of, hey, I would like to get the thoughts and the feedback of the community itself. What do you guys think about a sort of your ultimate elk rifle? If you could, I don't really want to say if you could have anything you wanted, because then obviously everybody would just go get the most custom Gucci thing that you could possibly get. That's not necessarily the case, but what do you think would be a really good elk setup to go out west? You know, maybe on like a once in a lifetime elk hunt. What would you take, right? What cartridge would you take specifically? What cartridge would you take? What bullet would you use? That's probably a bigger one that I would like to hear some feedback on. I think that would be an interesting topic, is what bullet would you choose in whatever cartridge you decide to go with? And then what would the platform be, right? Scopes, sort that out later, but that's it. That's where we're gonna leave it. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I wanna hear you guys, I wanna hear your feedback. So y'all let me know. But that's it, that's where we're gonna leave it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We'll catch you next time. Y'all have a good one.